country-style rock and roll guitar player, you know, like a Fender guitar player, has the nicest tone, the most amazing chops, technically super fast, and much neglected.
I think probably the reason I never made it big was because I didn't care whether I made it big or not. Like I said, I really didn't give a damn. All I wanted to do was learn to play the guitar for myself, and I didn't care about anybody else.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of heart, and that's something you can't fake, you know. If you have it, you've got it. If you don't have it, there's no way to make it look like you do.
You set your own goals for success, and when you succeed, it don't necessarily mean that you're going to be a big star, make a lot of money or anything. You feel it in your heart whether you succeeded or not.
Those are the words of a rock guitarist who's become a legend among his contemporaries. He's been called great, the greatest, by those few who've been fortunate enough to see him. Except for some bootleg albums, he hasn't put out any others of his own. He's played obscure clubs all around the country up until this time. So this is an evening of discovery for most of us, an evening of celebration for all of us. It's a privilege to bring on an artist that should be known by everybody, Roy Buchanan. Roy was born 31 years ago in Ozark, California. Just before he was 2, the family moved to Pixley, California in the San Joaquin Valley in California. At 15, he took his flat-top guitar and moved out and hit the road. He's been on the road ever since to prove to himself, as he says, I had something to say to myself and to prove to myself. Today, he's playing in a club in Bladensburg, Maryland. He's married, he's got 6 kids.
I hadn't been home in about, I guess it must have been about 12 years. I was real nervous about the whole thing because I really didn't think I'd ever get to go home again. People that told me things, you know, change. They almost convinced me of that, but things hadn't changed one bit. And I was kind of happy over the whole thing. Like I said, I was scared. I don't know exactly what of. Probably afraid I'd find myself, you know, or something. I thought maybe I'd changed, but like I say, I don't think anything had changed, including me.
I can't wait.
Get over there, Bill. Go on, Grandpa.
Hello, Father.
Who's this guy here?
I wouldn't hello.
How you doing, Dave?
All right, you?
Very tall.
It's the only one we don't have.
I was about 15 when I left home. My father said, if you ever need a place to stay, you know where you can come. I came back a couple of times, a couple of years later, and he's the type of person that believes I could do anything I wanted to do, you know. I wanted to play music, you know. So he figured I'd be all right, you know, take care of myself.
That's a good boy.
My mother and my father both worked. My mother worked, she worked like a man. She could outwork many a man. She was always strict, but not in the kind of the way that really ties you down that much. You know, we do about what we wanted to as long as we didn't really break any laws or hurt anybody or anything like that, you know. Like we went to, you know, the movies on Saturday and so on. Always church on Sunday. My dad, he was a preacher back then, and my mom, she taught Sunday school.
And then when you start to do anything, do the best you can. That's all anybody could expect of you, or all I believe the Lord expects of us. When we do our best for Him, well, then we've done our best.
I found something in church I don't believe I could quite explain. A feeling within inside of myself. It's something I can always turn to, and it's a feeling, you know, that I think it shows my music, kind of the way I feel. It's be something hard to explain. It's kind of a sacred feeling, you know. That's once you get it, you know, it's hard to ever change it, and I wouldn't change it for the world, you know. I like the feeling I got from it.
Let's worship God this morning. Hallelujah.
Would you be wiser, much wiser than
The thing I remember best about church was the music and the general overall picture of the message that they usually taught in church, which was to love your neighbor, you know, love yourself. I thought the best way for me to show that I did love my neighbor was to play my music, because everybody, you know, especially the church people, seem to enjoy it.
When Jesus comes for His own, He's going to take us out of this sinful world. We can have troubles, we can have heartaches, and a lot of times things comes along we don't understand. And when He's playing that song, I thought, we'll understand it all someday. It'll all be over.
I think without religion, these people around this town here, especially my mother and father, I don't know what they would have done without the comforts of church. It gave them a reason to live and also a reason to die.
And we're accused a lot of things.
That's their whole life.
But God's keeping a record, Sister Moss, and one of these days when He reveals that record, we're all going to know then the truth. We're going to understand it all by and by.
always liked any kind of music. I wanted to play it all. I never considered myself really good at any of it, but people liked to hear me play. If they liked to hear me play, I'd like to play it, you know. I'd try a little jazz, a little country, a little blues. Anything I could hear, I would try a little. And I tried to like work it into one thing. And I think that's one of the reasons that people notice my playing.
Like you at all.
He's about 14.
You look like you're all legs.
Now that's how big he was when we lived down in that house down there.
This place here was the place I spent probably most of my life. We moved here when I was about 5 years old. Used to do the regular thing, you know. We lived quite a normal life in a strange sort of way. You know, we pick a little cotton and bale a little hay, cut little grapes now and then. And like I said, it was a happy time in a sad sort of way, you know. The reason I left this place was even though you love something, you know, you wonder sometimes what, you know, what else you can do with what you learned. And even though, like I said, I love this place and everything, it's beautiful, and you can have your solitude, but it's also lonesome. And I guess I left the place because I had something to do, you know, something to prove to myself. And this place here, like I learned it here. I learned the other side of, you know, of life, you know. But I had to get away.
Fair, but my good gal is done caught air.
There wasn't much opportunity in Pixley for a guitar player, for one thing. I couldn't learn the different types of music that I wanted to know unless I did travel. So that was really one of the main reasons I did leave, so I could learn, you know, different styles and different the way other people played their music, you know, different styles and so on.
Roy Buchanan.
was always influenced by Roy Nichols. As a matter of fact, I used to watch him, and I'd get the chords and the basic things that I needed for the chord structures and so on. And I also liked his lead playing, so I learned quite a bit off him.
I'll think of you, of the past and all our fun. I love you, I'll prove it in days to come. Roy and Roy, here we go. You're my darling, you've been true. I should have been good to you. You're the one that's in my heart every day. I love you, I'll prove it in days to come. I'll swear it's true, darling, you're the only one. I'll think of you, of the past and all these days. I love you, I'll prove it 1,000 ways. I love you 1,000 ways.
Well, I left home about 1955, I think it was. Matter of fact, this little town right here is my home. That's where I left from. First place I went to L.A. I played around there when I could in different clubs. Of course, I was kind of young and it was hard for me to play, so I just bummed most of the time. Finally, got me a group together. We took off. The first place we went to Texas, and we played mostly nightclubs. Like I say, we were still a little young, but we managed it in a lot of small towns, playing blues, mostly for colored people back then. They was about the only one digging it. And we toured through Oklahoma, Texas, and finally we went to Canada. I wound up in Philadelphia. When I traveled, I usually scraped up enough money to catch a bus. I can remember sleeping in fields. I can remember sleeping in bars. I was lucky if I could sleep in a bar, talk the owner into it, live there. I'd usually make enough money to eat. There was a few times I couldn't do that. I remember one time in Chicago, I got stranded, and I worked myself all the way back here, try to start again by just playing in like little clubs, $3 or $4 a night. I can remember some lonesome times, all right. I think the lonely thing is kind of born inside of a person. That's what makes him play. Your soul seems to be completely someplace else from other people's, Lonesome feeling. My dad used to call it the blues. I think he was right.
1, 2,
One of the first great blues singers that really set me back on my ear was a guy by the name of Johnny Otis. So I listened to him quite a bit. The way he could bend a note with his voice, even though he didn't play a guitar, I could listen to his voice and get ideas from it.
1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4. Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Yeah, back to LA, sweetest place I know. Well, Watts and drink a little wine. Come on, oh, baby, don't you wanna go? Going back to L.A., sweetest place I know. Bye-bye, baby. Until we meet again. Bye-bye, baby. Baby, bye-bye, bye-bye. I'm going home and leave you, baby. Child, you ain't gonna worry my life no more. Yeah. Finest clothes in town. Bad luck and trouble, baby, followed me around. Bye, baby. Baby, bye-bye, bye-bye. I'm going home and leave you, baby. Hey, you ain't gonna worry my life no more. Bye-bye, baby. Yeah. Roy Buchanan, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Roy, beautiful.
Well, I was always quiet. I usually stayed alone, you know, most of the time. I didn't really like being around other people because I always felt like, you know, I thought a little bit different, you know, had a different way of thinking, I guess, you know. I didn't seem to fit in too well. I got very discouraged about 3 years ago. I'm kind of ashamed of it, but I got kind of messed up on the narcotics end of it, you know, the dope thing. Matter of fact, I took an overdose, and I went up in the hospital and said, I gotta get myself together, you know. So what I did, I figured I would just kind of hang around a different area of the country. So I became a barber. I cut hair, I guess, for over a year. And got myself together and hid away. But after about a year, I started wanting to play again. So I started back into it again.